we got some great polls, because as much as people say, well, I don't like what he's doing on immigration, or I don't like what he's talking about with tariffs. By the way, trade deficit just plummeting. I mean, he's got to be thrilled. Of course, it had skyrocketed previously last month because people were like buying everything from all over the world and hoarding it. Anyway, you've got Trump polls at an all-time high. This is unbelievable. Take a look at this. This is out of Real Clear Politics. And if you look at President Trump now, he's above where Obama and Bush were in their second term. That's pretty darn incredible, right? But you know, it shouldn't surprise you in a way, because people voted for two things. They wanted to get rid of inflation, and they wanted a stronger border. And when you look at what's going down, we're getting rid of inflation, and we've got a stronger border. So there you have it, right? CNN did its own poll. Harry Enton is stunned by it.
Yeah, you would think after all of the waves, Kate Baldwin, after the last few months, the first 5 months of the Donald Trump presidency, right, the first 4 months of the Donald Trump presidency, that you expect that Democrats would have this massive lead on the economy. It ain't so. It ain't so. The party that is closest to your economic views, in November of 2023, it was the Republicans by 11 points. Now it's still within that range, still within that margin of error. Plus 8-point advantage for the Republican Party. How is that possible, Democrats? How is that possible after all the recession fears, after the stock market's been doing all of this, after all the tariffs that Americans are against, and Republicans still hold an 8-point lead on the economy? Are you kidding me?
Wow. Are you kidding me? No, we're not kidding you. We're not kidding you at all, Harry. You know what? Take a look at those numbers. I guess you guys over at CNN are the only ones that don't get it. The economy's doing better. Did you see the last two jobs reports? Oh, we're adding jobs more than anybody thought. Well, ADP was a little bit weak. Donald Trump doesn't like that. He's pounding Jerome Powell, saying, hey, we need lower rates. Problem is, you can't really get lower rates if the economy is doing better. And I actually think the economy is doing better. It really is. And that's what people are responding to. Again, Harry not quite getting it.
This is new CNN polling.
Yes.
How is that, when we look for trends, how is that trending with other data that you're pulling in?
Yeah, if it was just this one CNN poll, that would be one thing. But take a look at Reuters Ipsos. What do we see here? Party with a better economic plan. Well, in May of 2024, just before Donald Trump was reelected president, Republicans had a 9-point advantage. Look at where we are now in May of 2025. The advantage actually went up by 3 points. Now Republicans have a 12-point advantage when it comes to the party with a better economic plan. And again, this is after months of supposed economic uncertainty, in which the stock market's been going bonkers, in which the tariff wars that Americans are against have been going on. And yet, despite all of that, the Democrats are down by 12 points on the economy. This speaks to Democratic problems on the economy better than basically anything that you could possibly look at. The Republicans still hold an advantage on the all-important key issue of the day. And that is the reason why, even if Donald Trump's approval ratings are a little bit lower than they used to be, Republicans are not out of the ballgame, because they still have a clear advantage on the economy, whether you look at CNN's polls or whether you look at the Ipsos poll right here, in which they have a 12-point advantage on the economy.
Okay, so take that, Jasmine Crockett. You know, they keep trying to tell us the economy's bad. And I'm like, guys, you know what? You can spin all you want. You tried that for 4 years. You actually tried to tell us the economy was good. But we knew the economy was not good. Everyday Americans, they get it, right? They're the ones out there shopping. They go to the grocery store. They know what prices are. But Jasmine had somehow some kind of plan to run for the presidency or something. She was speaking out, I think, on Morning Joe. This is nuts. I mean, my gosh, when you're looking at your leaders in the party being the likes of AOC, yeah, or Jasmine Crockett. I mean, Bernie Sanders, I'm no fan of his, but he probably has a little bit more stature. He's just too old, so you run into that. But this is who they're looking to, okay, guys? And that is their problem right now. They don't have anybody that's representing the middle class in America. And this is another one of Enton's points. Historically, the Democrats have owned that space. But they don't own it anymore. And you know why they don't own it? Because they told everyone in the middle class that they're part of the problem. All those white middle class men, we don't want them. We don't want them. They're the problem. They're bad. Toxic masculinity. It's killing America. We need to be all about black women. We're going to elect Kamala Harris. Yeah, good luck with that. You can't just alienate people like that. You can't tell them they're the problem when, by the way, that was your historic base, for goodness sakes.
And also in the CNN data, it does show that Republicans are gaining ground in an area that is key relating to all of this, which is when it comes to the middle class.
Yeah. You know, historically speaking, which is the party of the middle class has been a huge advantage for Democrats. I have polling from NBC going all the way back since 1989 when Democrats had a 23-point advantage. 2016, a 17-point advantage. But by this decade, we already started seeing declines back in 2022 where you saw that Democrats led, but only by 4 points, well within the margin of error. And now in our latest CNN poll among registered voters, which is the party of the middle class, it is tied. This, I think, speaks to Democratic ills more than anything else. They have traditionally been the party of the middle class. No more. Donald Trump and the Republican Party have taken that mantle away, and now a key advantage for Democrats historically has gone adios amigos, and now there is no party that is the party of the middle class. Republicans have completely closed the gap, Kate.
All right, there's a lot of messages.
Again, this is like not hard to understand. It's sort of amazing to me that they're so flabbergasted over all of it, and they have no answers. Like, they ought to listen to It's the Economy Stupid James Carville, who's like, what are you people doing? You get this David Hogue idiot. You get this Jasmine Crockett, like, leave the party, Ilhan Omar. He said that, okay? Because you're not doing us any favors. And here's one that they're touting as like the next who knows what. And she's a disaster.
We've traveled to over and done over 100 events on behalf of other people. So what I'm trying to do is let everybody know that I'm a team player. And that's exactly what I hope, comes across. I don't anticipate, though, that the former speaker is weighing in. I've been talking to people while my letter just went out. I have been talking to people, and I did not get a sense that the former speaker had weighed in. I will tell you, though, that seniority is a thing that, Alex mentioned when she said she wasn't going to run again. I think, it's hard for certain people who have come up through this system to then say, you know what, I'm going to let it go. And it's been important for me to tell people that, listen, if we just had a halfway normal person in the White House, I wouldn't be running, because I really do respect seniority, especially because of the history of it, especially for like the Black caucus. But at the same time, if we don't meet this moment, I think that we're going to continue to see our numbers plummet. I think we're going to continue to lose a lot of our support. And I think that when we talk about diversity, as much as we do on our side of the aisle, that even means in our leadership. And so diversity comes from all different ways. And so we've done a lot of seniority kind of votes. I'm hoping that we can break the norm, at least in this particular race, and give someone a shot who really just wants to help our team.
A mentor told me just the other day, you can't just want to meet the moment, you have to want the moment. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas, thank you very much.
Good to see y'all.
We'll be right back, folks.
Another one of those shows on MSNBC not doing so well, but Crockett has officially announced her candidacy for ranking member of House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. So she's climbing her way to the top, and she's got aspirations. It's going to take her all the way to Pennsylvania Avenue in her head. And the same with AOC. Hey, maybe the two of them ought to team up. Guys, that would be great, right? Because then we're winning and winning and winning. Again, I go back to all-time highs here. Look at this, doing so much better than a couple of other presidents, including one that was quite popular with the left, one Obama, right? Or even Bush. Amazing.